Okay, Smelly Herberts, it's Popcorn Junkies time, but this is, the Golden Globes have been announced, the nominations, and we are Oscar mad in this house. We like, next year the Oscars are going to be so exciting. Why? Because Joaquin Phoenix is going to be nominated for, hopefully...
He's going to win Best Actor.
It's going to
Imagine
win.
if he doesn't, what is this house going to be like?
Well, here's my concerns about that. We're obviously very attached to the Joker. My worry with the Joker, with Joker, is that, like A Star Is Born last year, it was released very early within the qualifying period of time. And so my worry is that people might forget.
Can't forget his performance.
Well, they forgot Star Is Born.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
But they're stupid.
Star Is Born wasn't... Oh, I don't know. I've still not got over that.
Not quite got my head around that. Anyway, and we're also approaching that time of year where we have to think about our favourite films and all that kind of stuff. It's the end of the year. So the Golden Globes are quite a good barometer for what's likely to happen at the Oscars. And they've announced them today. There are some notable omissions. So for Best Motion Picture, so this could end up being the Oscar list, we've got The Two Popes.
I haven't even watched that.
Yeah, which Nanny Di has just seen and says is important. But we've got Marriage Story, The Irishman, 1917 for Best Picture, and Joker.
Well, we all know...
What are we rooting
who
for
I'm
there?
with.
Well, yeah.
Joker's the only... I haven't seen 17.
Yeah.
But from... I don't even think Marriage Story should... What's Marriage Story?
Well, Marriage Story is curious and one, yeah, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
My friend Linda loved it.
Marriage Story? But it was...
She loved Marriage Story and she loved Irishman, so it's just that very different tastes, I suppose.
And your dad loved The Irishman too.
Yeah.
Mind-boggling.
But Maddie made an interesting point about your dad liking The Irishman. It's no disrespect to your dad, but he's an older man, and we felt it was an older man's film, in a sense. But yeah, so that's intriguing. So no surprises there. I think if I did have a surprise, it's snagged my interest in why The Two Popes. The Two Popes seems to be one of those sort of outsiders that, you know, every year there's always a movie that I haven't seen that people keep talking about.
That's the one, we better make sure you see it.
So there's that. So that's Best Motion Picture. I think I'm really chuffed that 1917's in there. Because it was a beautifully executed film.
It's got to be in there.
Beautifully executed.
Stunning.
But I do think for all-round direction, performance, you know, the picture, you've got to be looking at Joker, surely, there. Though, you know, I worry that these organisations don't like to favour a film that comes out of that superhero. I could see it getting director and stuff like that, but anyway. So Best Performance by an Actress is Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, which is about the black woman who was, I think she was sort of like a freedom fighter and a slave.
I want to see that.
Yeah, and she's got some amazing write-ups.
I really want to see that.
So Cynthia Erivo for Harriet, Scarlett Johansson for Marriage Story, Saoirse Ronan for the soon-to-be-released Greta Gerwig's Little Women, Charlize Theron for Bombshell. And interestingly,
I want to see that.
yeah, that hasn't been released yet, so looking forward to that. But here's one that we do have some sort of skin in the game with, in a sense. It's Scarlett Johansson we've seen, Renee Zellweger. And I have to say, although I didn't think Judy was a great film, her performance was quite something.
Oh, I thought she was brilliant.
Wasn't it?
I never saw that.
No.
Looked really annoying.
So, the category that's probably most stressful for Maddie on certainly Oscar night is Best Actor in a Drama.
Is he not?
So we have Christian Bale for Ford v Ferrari. We have Antonio Banderas for Pain and Glory, which I've seen, the Pedro Almodovar. And Antonio Banderas is fucking phenomenal in that film. Haven't reviewed it because I didn't think particularly many people would have watched it. Adam Driver for Marriage Story. Jonathan Pryce for The Two Popes. Two Popes coming in. Joaquin Phoenix for Face.
Oh no, I was
Joker.
scared. I thought you was going to...
Yeah. So that was quite nerve-wracking to see that. But I do think, again, Two Popes is kind of intriguing. Adam Driver, I thought he was the better of the two.
Yeah, but I don't know about his... I don't think he should win that.
But you know what? Antonio Banderas, his performance was very good. I didn't even think this would get a look in.
I like Antonio Banderas.
Check it out, Pain and Glory. Well, no, I mean...
We all know that out of them, Joker...
But it's so frightening, isn't it? When you see the list of names, you sort of think there are compelling reasons why the Academy or the Golden Globes organisation would potentially reach to someone else. So yeah, I mean, I agree, Joaquin should, but will he? Now this is interesting. Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy, which the Golden Globes has. The Oscars don't have that distinction. You've got Dolomite Is My Name, which is a film with Eddie Murphy in it. Jojo Rabbit by Taika Waititi.
Nazi one.
Yeah, his imaginary friend is Hitler. Knives Out, which I'm flabbergasted by. The whodunit. which me and Nanny Di reviewed.
I didn't like it at
That's
all.
in for best motion picture musical or comedy.
Gotta be bloody joking.
Yeah, then...
That's shocking.
I think that is shocking. I think it is shocking.
All my friends have liked it.
Have they?
I mean, I didn't mind it actually.
Yeah, no, you were the most favourable of the lot.
I didn't,
Yeah.
I
think it was
win.
scintillatingly
I
inventive.
didn't go expecting much either. So.
No. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is in there for best musical or comedy.
Oh.
And get this, Dexter Fletcher doing it again with Rocket Man.
Yeah, I loved Rocket Man.
So, I just thought that was quite impressive. That means
Rocket Man.
2 years in a row he's been associated with a film that's been nominated for a Best Picture Golden Globe. Quite something. Now, best performance by an actress. Who would any of your hearts be set on for winning this year? It's a tricky one, I think. No obvious front runners.
I can't even think of
Can't think of one.
No, best performance by an actress in a musical or comedy. You've had the lead.
Very
so in a musical,
specific.
yeah, it is. So you've got Ana de Armas, who's the female in Knives Out.
No, nothing in Knives Out can be up for vote as far as I'm concerned.
Awkwafina. I think that's how you pronounce it. Awkwafina in The Farewell. I did see that. I did think she was good, but Kate Blanchett and Where'd You Go, Bernadette? Haven't seen it. You'll be pleased about this. Beanie Feldstein for Booksmart. Booksmart has got a nomination, so I think we'll be rooting for her there.
Oh, good.
And Emma Thompson for Late Night, which I find bizarre.
Oh, that film was awful. I didn't bother watching the whole trailer.
And then here we go for best performance by an actor in a musical or comedy is Daniel Craig for Knives Out. Knives Out, three. Roman Griffin Davis for Jojo Rabbit. Leonardo DiCaprio for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Taron Egerton for Rocket Man. And Eddie Murphy for Dolomite's Money. Who would you prefer out of Leonardo and Taron?
It's really hard because I feel like Leo did the best he could with what he was given. But then Taron was given a lot more.
Yeah.
That's really hard.
And Taron sang.
And Taron, yeah, probably Taron, to be honest.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
It wasn't Leonardo's best performance, but that wasn't his fault. That was
No, absolutely. So I'm going to jump up. So, in terms of the best supporting actors and supporting actresses, there are no real standouts there, other than Jennifer Lopez has been given a nomination for Hustlers.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I saw Hustlers late one night, and a bunch of Irish women tried to accost me. I thought Jennifer Lopez was good, but I actually thought the other people in the film were much better. Laura Dern's been nominated for Marriage Story.
Oh God.
Which we felt was a bit
mannered.
You felt was a bit mannered.
Laura Dern. The character seemed too fake.
But in the best actor, Anthony Hopkins, The Two Popes. Again, so this has got 3 nominations, but
it's so that film that would get loads of nominations and is really disappointing, just like The Irishman and just like Marriage Story.
Well, and interestingly, in this category, so best performance by an actor in a supporting role in any motion picture, Al Pacino and Joe Pesci have both been nominated for The Irishman. Robert De Niro hasn't been nominated for anything.
That could be tricky.
Yeah, it is what it is. Can you imagine that? And that's the biggest omission actually in the award ceremony, is the fact that everyone and everything to do with The Irishman but Robert De Niro has been nominated.
That's really peak, but I didn't think his performance was good. So.
But I agree, I think he was weak. I'm
not necessarily saying that was his fault.
No.
He was probably bored making the film, just as bored as we were watching it. But it was so one note.
But I agree with this last nominated actor.
I agree with Al Pacino being nominated.
I do too, and I personally do Joe Pesci. I thought he was great. Understated threat and all that.
Too airbrushed.
Yeah, they all were. Yeah, they had the hands of a 95-year-old and the face of a 16-year-old. It was bizarre.
But also not a 16-year-old. It was just very airbrushed wrinkles.
It was the face of an airbrushed 65-year-old and the hands of a 92-year-old. Also nominated for Best Supporting Actor is Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which I think is deservedly so.
Yeah, he was very good.
I personally, in that category, would hope that Brad Pitt would win Best Supporting Actor. Now, Best Director, there's a film called Parasite that's coming out by a Korean director, Bong Joon-ho. I haven't seen it yet, but it's supposed to be very good. But the other 4 directors in there are Sam Mendes for 1917, Todd Phillips for Joker, Scorsese for The Irishman, and Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I think it has to. I think it's going to be a race between Mendes. I think it's going to be a race between Mendes, Phillips, and Tarantino. It's a hard one, that. Todd Phillips might not get it because of The Irishman. They might give it to Scorsese.
Oh my God, if they give it to Scorsese, literally, I will raid Hollywood.
Good. Well,
single-handedly. There is no way that Irishman can get that. If they just give that to him because it's Scorsese, I am going I will raid Hollywood single-handedly.
Right.
I'm not having that.
Well,
I'm sorry. I'm very forgiving when it comes to films, but I have no
No,
exceptions.
you are not. No, you cannot say the sentence, I'm very forgiving when it comes to... Oh my God, you haven't got a drop of
with
forgiveness.
films, sometimes I always like to find what people like in a film.
Not true.
Yeah, she does.
That is true.
She does. I think she
Name
does.
one thing, DC, that's the only thing. Because it's
Don't
DC.
go there. Don't mention Wonder Woman, Jesus.
But The Irishman, there are no exceptions. That film was so boring.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat my own head.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it could go to Tarantino for the same reason. It could be Scorsese or Tarantino simply because of their back catalogue of
I mean,
films.
I want Todd Phillips to win, but if Tarantino won, I'd be happier with that than I would be with The Irish.
Okay, well, if Todd Phillips doesn't win, I'd prefer Sam Mendes for 1917.
Yeah, I was
Because I
It
think
has
it's
to
a
win
virtuoso
something.
piece of filmmaking. Now, the other omission, so De Niro not getting nominated for Best Actor is big news, but Noah Baumbach, who has been nominated for Best Screenplay, wasn't nominated as Director of Marriage Story, and that's the other big omission. So everyone's kind of a bit...
Noah Baumbach?
Yeah, the Director of Marriage Story. It's a big deal, because he's big. But here's a couple of, and then there's all the other, but here's a couple of nominations that are interesting. Best Television Drama, Big Little Lies, The Crown, Killing Eve, The Morning Show with Jennifer
I
Aniston.
haven't watched that properly.
And Succession. It's been nominated for a Golden Globe.
Succession has
Succession,
to.
I think...
Any category,
Yeah.
no matter how much I love other nominations within it, if Succession is there, Succession for me will be the winner.
And we've never talked about Succession on our channel, and why is that? I mean, as a series...
We came to it late, I suppose, and we thought
Yeah.
people already knew how they felt about it, but for me it's the best drama series probably, well, alongside Ozark,
Yeah.
that I've ever seen.
It is one of the greatest series I think I've ever come across. But here's a couple of other interesting nominations, guys. So you've got Nicole Kidman being nominated for Big Little Lies.
Well, she's stupendous in it.
She is. Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show. She could bag herself a Golden Globe. Olivia Colman for The Crown. Other nominees are Brian Cox has been nominated for Succession.
Wow, wouldn't that be amazing?
Wouldn't that be
if you got
amazing
that?
for him if he got that? I think that would be good. Phoebe Waller-Bridges for Fleabag. Meryl Streep for Big Little Lies. Helena Bonham Carter for The Crown. And guess who from Succession? Kieran Culkin.
Wow,
The Culkin brothers. He's been nominated for Best Supporting
I'd
Actor.
love it if he got that.
So I'd love it if he'd win, yeah. So those are the nominations. So yeah, I mean,
They're all a bit disappointing.
do you think
Yeah.
what other films do you think should have been featured?
I feel like I've seen so many more films than that, and like really good ones.
Well, I'll tell you some other omissions. Where the hell's Noah Jupe?
Where the hell is
from Honey
Last
Boy.
Black Man in San Francisco?
Last Black Man in San Francisco. What's going on, guys?
Why have they just blocked out all the good films of this year, apart from Joker in 1917, which I haven't seen? Oh my god, this annoys me so much. The Academy always pick this stuff.
Well, this is the Golden Globes. This is the Golden Globes. So this isn't necessarily
like,
exactly
you know what I mean?
they'll choose.
Hollywood, like those types
Yeah.
of people, they always pick the films that they think they should
That are
pick.
popular.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not even popular. I don't know a single person that liked The Irishman, my age.
Your granddad.
And it's, but
your
it's
age,
on
yes.
Netflix. It's mainly for people of my...
Well, you know,
Wow.
when you search The Irishman online, the most commonly searched word alongside it is boring.
They've
So there you
even
go.
given advice as to how to watch it
That's
as a
brilliant.
as
As a miniseries. Well,
That's how
Teddy
watched it.
watched
That's
it.
how long it is. We sat in the cinema watching it.
So, guys, what do you think? We are obviously...
name beside it is boring.
Okay.
It's so boring.
It's so boring. I'm sorry.
Mum, if you fall asleep in good films,
Yeah, yeah. Wouldn't it be ironic
might
if she
die
loves
in
it?
that
film.
It'd be
I might love
ironic if she loves it. But here's the thing, so you can clearly tell we're rooting for Joker. I'm chuffed that 1917's pulling in some nominations. But what do you think, guys? What are your hopes? What are your dreams? What do you want? Who do you want to win? Who was forgotten? Who was forgotten? How is De Niro going to feel?
2017 and Joker.
I actually feel really sorry for De Niro.
I feel sorry for De Niro. Everyone else gets nominated but him.
Well, he's had enough in his life, hasn't he?
Has he? Has he really?
I don't know,
Maybe he just wants a bit more.
It's still quite
The
embarrassing.
only category he could still win a Golden Globe is if he wins Best Picture. He is an exec producer, so he would pick up that Golden Globe.
Well, and he's also an actor. You can't get a Best Picture without the actors being brilliant.
Well, this is why it's odd that he's not nominated.
You can, because his performance was not good in it.
What can we say?
For more film and family fun, don't forget to click the subscribe button and make sure to click the bell to never miss an update.